Good morning and welcome to another Full Transparency Trading Session where I am your host, Sebastian, and today we're talking about what's going to happen in the market today, which I have no idea, to be honest. They ran games yesterday. They'll probably try to run games again today, but we did take a beautiful trade with 27 contracts right here at 57.1825, which puts our entry at this level right here when we got confirmation. And then we sold out at 57.15, which is right here. Where we hit this level of support and started to pull back. As you can see, we pulled back up there. I don't ride pullbacks, even though my analysis was that we would take it down to the 200 EMA as usual. When a pullback happens, it's going to kick me out majority of the time because I'm chasing my play pretty closely. But $4,000 is still a really good trade, a really good opening trade, so I'm not complaining about that at all. 4,300 is what we put in. Let's take a broader look at what's happening today. So let's go back to the 15-minute time frame. I want to show you guys what happened yesterday. So yesterday was Monday, September 30th, right? We opened the day at 9:30. We had a high at 10 p.m. We were below the 200 EMA. We came back up to that high at about noon. 7:30 in the morning we started going up. 9:30 in the morning we went up quickly, then we fell sharply at 10, and then 10:15 on we went all the way back up above the 200 again. Let me zoom in on this a little bit to make sure that you guys can see that clearly. Right, we pushed all the way up, broke the 200, and then fell back through. Whenever we break through, usually if you get the body of a candle, sometimes it'll push up higher, so you got to be careful with these. This purple line dictates a strong level of resistance or my current supply zone. One of the lower supply zones. As you can see, resistance 0, rejection target. What do we do at resistance 0? We reject it, and we keep rejecting at resistance 0, right? So when we break through it, I'm very cautious as to not take trades to the upside, because this is in fact the first level of resistance and a rejection target. We go through, we wick through the line, we come back down, we reject hard. You can ride that trade to the downside. That's pretty much good for the rest of the day. We go all the way down to the low, and this low was left behind from the 1 hour time frame. Low Monday right there, 1 hour time frame. The low from last Tuesday. So literally Tuesday to Monday, we pretty much had the exact same low. You have some areas here that kind of show you where it's going to. And then after we took that low, let's go back to the 15 minutes, right? It was just an explosion. Took that low, we exploded right back to this dual line here, right? This 57.68. I have two lines here because there are two points of interest on the 1 hour time frame. But this one has been here for a while, right? Let me shrink it down a little bit. Okay, as you see, we got boom right there, boom right here, all the way across there. That has been an area of support. Let's go ahead and engage, roll that back out. But that had been an area of support for a long time, right? So we exploded off of that lower demand zone. We came back up to the area of support, and then we never looked back from that point on, you know. Then the biggest issue was this, right? This 5802 was pretty much the high for like the entire day. At about 3 o'clock, we started to push up, you know, not unreasonable. We had wicked here before and pushed down, so you expect to kind of hold this area here, reach the 200 EMA, right? At 3:30. Now here's where things get crazy. We exploded through the rejection target at 3:45 and never stopped pushing up until the end of the market. Just a very, very suspect thing to have happened. Let's zoom out real quick. Let's go to the previous day so we can see how fast that actually happened on Monday. All right, where are we at? 3:15. All right here. So we start pushing up, we're consolidating, explosion. Small consolidation, more exploding up. I mean, it's climbing, and the problem is it's climbing, but it's also wicking back a little bit. So you can never really catch the play that they're doing. But then right here at 350, happens a lot. 349, we pull it down, we stop at the 9 EMA. We can zoom in on that to make sure that you guys can see it clear. Then you get this massive jump from 5800, which was pretty much the resistance, the strong level of resistance, all the way up to 5809 in like 30 seconds or so, right? So you went up $9. And after that, it just kept climbing and climbing and climbing. But if you missed this initial like 350 move, I feel like that was it. Either you got in down here at 337 and you rode that up, or you got the secondary pullback at 350. After that, it was kind of like chasing, whatever. So then what I did was I waited out all of this because I was late to see this party going up. And then once we hit this high, this 58.20, I took a trade to the downside. And then I got out when this started to pull back right here. I didn't get the second candle. I got this first candle. It shot all the way down. That was beautiful. Came right to this little support area here that used to be consolidation. Started to pull back, so I got out. Now, if you take it to today, let's go ahead and put a white line there, adding the alert, going all the way to the right. You see where I got in right here? I got in $2 underneath my high from before. Why? Because in the middle of the night, we were at 58.19, so we're 50 cents off the high, right? We started to pull back. I was waiting for us to go to what we went to at 2 a.m., which was the high, but we didn't quite get there. So I was like, you know what? We pull it down, we pull it back up, we started consolidating. Excuse me. We started consolidating lower than the high itself. So I said, cool, we're going to take this trade to the downside. You see me getting in the downside here. You see me get kicked out on the pullback right here at 15. But either way, beautiful trade. We knew it was going to the 1 minute 200 EMA. We finally broke the 1 minute 200 EMA. So we're heading back down to this area right here. But I honestly cannot say for sure what the market would do today. I know what it should be doing. It should be retracing and going down. Look at how high we pushed out. We should be retracing and going down. We should be eventually trying to break this area here. But it looks like they keep trying to push us back up into the supply zone up here. So let's unlock the screen so we can see my supply zone. Auto fit 1 hour. Look at the supply zone. So the supply zone, the range resistance is at 83.30. We're $20 off of that right now, and we just keep pushing up within $10 of that area. So until we actually break down and hold down, I'm not going to ride the bearish trend because they keep trying to push us into the supply zone. Now what I will do is hold orders in the supply zone up here, like right about here, selling 10 and protecting 12, so 1,500. Looking for 40 ticks, which is $5,000. So we're gonna set this trade up right here, and this is just if we come up to that range, we're gonna reject pretty violently unless we wick up and go through. So we're only gonna risk 1,500, which is a $3 move against us, for a $10 move in our favor, which will give us $5,000, which should be, honestly, this candle right here, once we hit the top of that, blew through our little $5,000 area. So that should be a very reasonable trade to set up. But I'm not going to ride bearish until they decide to ride bearish. Right now, we're just consolidating a very large range. We wick down to the 4 hour 200, the 1 hour 200 EMA. We broke through it, but all we're doing is reaching for this level right here. So I was aware of that yesterday. And then I got the yawns, I'm sorry. Then we went right back into this massive range of consolidation. You're talking about $40 of consolidation right here. So be careful, just play the range. Look at the resistance target. That is now a support target to come down to right here, 57.98, and go back up. But I'm looking for this to go all the way up to the high. If they try to break out of the high, I'm protected a little bit above it to 31, but 30 is the current high. I don't see any driving factors that should be taking us up there, but there's a lot of news coming out this week. Some people get excited and want to boost things up during the news so that they can make some money and then drop it down really quickly, like you see right here. But this is the top half of the range. This is the bottom half of the range. This is the full range that we can go through. Hopefully we can get up to the high, get a massive rejection, and I can get a quick $5,000 off of that trade. But that's it for me, guys. Honestly, just be careful out there. Try not to guess. Try to just wait for it to get to your supply zones and your demand zones. Try to wait for the trend to form. And once the trend forms, take your trade. Right now, we were trending down. We decided to go right back up. So I got my good trade out of the day. We'll see what I can set up for later on. Now that we're below this 200 EMA, probably just looking to clear this area right here to 85.05. I mean 58.05 that we were at before. Now we break 58.05, then I'll be looking to go lower to the 58.01. We break 58.01. Now we can go right back down to the lowest part of the range from yesterday, which starts at about 57.79 and then goes down to about 57.54. But we just got to keep an eye on what's going on. As you can see right now in the RSI, it's saying that we're very low. So they only kind of want to go to this area right here, this 58.04. So it seems like they are, in fact, trying to push it back up into the main supply zone at least one more time this week. And then, you know, you got the big news coming out Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, which will change up the market as a whole. But normally what happens in September is we trend down. This September was an anomaly, and we trended way higher than we ever have before. But that's because that's just the way this year has been. You know, I definitely don't think it's the norm. But we will see. You know, October should release some of this pressure. There's been a lot of buying going on. There's been a lot of buying going on for months now, and we left behind a lot of fair value gaps. We left behind a lot of spaces that we need to cover. Look at the run up. You know, this one came and kind of met this. This area right here at 57.55 is one of my main areas of support. And we tend to bounce off that a lot. We wick through it a couple of times, but we tend to hold around that area of 55 right here. That's why I call it demand zone 0. I mean demand zone X. There's a point of interest down there. This is the bounce target. So when we come down and hit it, it acts as a bounce target. You see we came down and hit it again on yesterday, and it did what? We acted as a bounce target, took us back up to the upside. Like, you don't always have to be stubborn and get the exact 100% move to exactly the blue line. But if you're within that dollar range, usually I'll take that trade to the upside. As long as there's not like a massive amount of downside to it. But we went right back up into the high. This is the support area right here, my purple line. That was a rejection target. We were rejecting it. Wicked all the way down to the lowest point of the POIs, and then went right back up and then exploded through it late in the afternoon. So you really need to watch the first hour or so and see what they're trying to do. At least check out 8:30 and see what they're trying to do with the market, if they're going to try to push it up higher, or if they're going to go ahead and let this fall back down where it should be. 15 minutes 200 EMA is right here, 58.01. So like I was saying, this is an area that they're interested in coming back down to. So go ahead and mark that out as a potential trade to the upside with an alert. And then I'll also put a little blue line on my alert so that I know that this is a 15-minute target today. 5-minute time frame right here. We're already touching it, so we break the 5 minutes. Obviously we're going to look for the 15 minutes, which is here at 58.01. The 1 hour target is all the way down here at 57.69, which is another area that I'm looking for. As you can see, we hit that target on Wednesday of last week. Looking forward to us hitting that target again, which will put us right back in the entire full range. So hey, best of luck out there. Happy hunting. Take the easy money, make it, you know, simple on yourself. And let's try to keep it going. Just try to keep going one day at a time, growing a little bit at a time. You don't have to try to hit crazy numbers. You know, our challenge is $250 a day. Our challenge is not crazy numbers. Our challenge is to make $250 a day. I still don't believe that my funds have settled for my options trading account today. So probably no options today. But as soon as we get options up and running, we'll be looking to take options trades. Once again, this has been a full transparency trading session where I am your host, Sebastian. You guys have a great day.